Now let's bring in George P. Bush, Texas Land Commissioner and candidate for Texas Attorney General. Thank you for being here this evening. Appreciate your time.
Good to be with you, Jillian.
So you heard what the secretary had to say there. And, you know, since these images have come out, we've heard from multiple people, including the photographer himself, saying he never saw anybody being whipped. We've heard from the former Border Patrol chief saying that that's not what was happening, that they were doing their job. So you've heard so much condemnation from members of this administration. And you wonder, when this investigation is wrapped up, if it proves to be factual, that the photographer and the former Border Patrol chief and many others are right, that they were just doing their jobs, how bad would that be for the president and his administration?
Well, it would further confirm the fact that they are just neglecting the importance of security and preserving our sovereignty on our southern border. Mounted patrol has been an effective tool that Border Patrol has used for decades. Even urban police departments use it for crowd control. And particularly when you're looking at the largest surge of illegal immigration in modern American history, people forget that Border Patrol monitor close to 2,000 miles of frontier, most of which is unfenced, particularly around Del Rio. And Mounted Patrol is very effective. Just recently on social media, I shared some imagery from the El Paso area of responsibility where Mounted Patrol are utilized every single day. I think this investigation will not only exonerate these honorable Border Patrol officials, but will show that this administration has no sense of urgency in terms of enforcing immigration law.
That's a great point. Do you feel like the Border Patrol agents hear that sentiment and feel that sentiment?
They don't. I have a chance to visit the border almost every other week. I've been doing so for many years, also as a former intelligence officer, and the morale couldn't be lower. They need more support than ever. There's only, just to put this into context, Julian, there's 19,000 agents. Roughly half are focused on processing, and the other half are dealing with 200,000 apprehensions on a monthly basis, not to mention an estimated 50 to 100,000, quote, gotaways that get to the border undetected. Like I said, they travel through harsh areas. They rescue lives virtually every month. In fact, Border Patrol agent passed in the line of duty rescuing a Chinese national who was trying to come here illegally in the Rio Grande River in southern Texas. So, I mean, these folks aren't honored enough, and they have a president that's trying to divert away from a crisis that he has created with his own policies. So, no, I'm not going to take that answer at face value.
And before we let you go, we have about a minute left. Do you think that our Border Patrol agents, that our border itself, that the towns in Texas along the border, do you think that Texas as a whole could handle more migrant surges like the one we just saw?
So as you indicated in your reporting, not only are we seeing a caravan in southern Mexico building of 20,000, but there's recent reporting of another Haitian caravan in South America coming into Panama. So as long as the policies are still on the books, and as long as Secretary Mayorkas slow plays the Remain in Mexico policy for those seeking political asylum, we're going to continue to see waves. I do know that the people of Texas are can-do people. We're going to roll up our sleeves and do what we can, but we're moving forward based on the assumption that this White House is not going to enforce federal immigration law. They're not going to devote appropriate resources to take on one of the big challenges while they pass a $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill, which, by the way, has very little for actual border security and maintaining our sovereignty on our southern border.
Yeah, and we're going to get into that in just a few minutes with Congressman Ralph Norman. George P. Bush, Texas Land Commissioner and candidate for Texas Attorney General, thank you so much for joining us this evening. Have a great night.
Good night.
And still to come, new details from the governor of Montana after witnessing the site of an Amtrak derailment that killed at least 3 people.